Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us. My name is Scott Rutter. I am the founder and president of the New Jersey Cannabis Business Association. Today, we have TSRGrow, and we have some great guys here. I was just talking to them a little bit before the show here. We have Mikhail Segal, and we have Tony Pavlakis. And I promise I wouldn't screw up their names, but I'm not sure if I did or not, so let me know. But these are great guys, and they're all across the country. They're doing wonderful things, helping cultivators get themselves up and running in a very cost-effective way, energy-efficient ways. So again, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us, and I'll turn it over to you, to Mikhail.
Oh, thank you very much, Scott. Pleasure to be here with you and Jenna, and part of this, lunch and learn. We're excited to be able to bring some of the things that we've done, done here in the industry and what we're doing, and some of the exciting things we're doing in New Jersey. It's a great market, hot market. Obviously, every market has its challenges, but we're excited for working there, and hopefully we can bring some value to everybody who's looking to operate there. So appreciate being here, and excited to chat with Tony Pavlakis and tell you a little bit about who we are and what we do.
Awesome.
So
before we get too far down, I want to just make sure that I want to make sure we thank our sponsors first, but do the introduction, thank our sponsors. So I do want to thank our sponsors, HBK CPAs, Sachs LLP, Dutchy, Financial Resources Federal Credit Union, Township Green, and of course, Sprague Energy, our preferred energy provider. Gentlemen, back to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. So TSRGrow, we've been in business actually for 14 years, going on 15. And we have a strong history in LED lighting, horticulture solutions, and working with customers. We've been at this for a long time. We have a lot of expertise. And one of the things that we do is a non-traditional approach. We really want to learn everything we can about your project, your application, how to succeed, and bring all of our expertise and knowledge to bear to help you be as successful as possible. Because really, at the end of the day, this is all about winning together, and we're all references for each other. We all want to bring each other and help each other succeed in the best way, not just for the short term where the market is there and growing quickly, but also after, when there's price compression and other things, we want to continue to succeed after that. Next slide, Jenna. So a little bit about our solutions is we bring not just lighting solutions, but really advanced horticulture solutions to the cultivation space. We're nationwide. We've got projects in overseas in Europe. And so we're doing a lot of things everywhere. And the key to our solution is that bringing our philosophy and success is really bringing it to a commercial cultivation perspective. We started this company 14 years ago, really with the eye towards commercial cultivation. And the key piece is really taking advanced LED lighting, decoupling the power into centralized power servers, and then bringing in applications, environmental monitoring, and other solutions that help drive the lighting to give you full power monitoring, energy management, light management, crop steering, and really a whole complete integrated environmental lighting and power system to help you operate extremely efficiently and for long-term success, especially which is extremely critical as we talk about new federal regulations and other things coming along. So we're really excited to be here and talk to you about how we can help you succeed.
Excellent. So, oh, sorry, go ahead.
So go ahead, Tony.
All right. We talk a lot about planning for success within the cultivation process or any other process within cannabis. So we're talking about when we first meet people, doesn't matter what market we're in, we're talking about picking the right partners, making sure people work together. So that's really, really key in this industry, is making sure there's no silos. So we talk about this all the time because we want to make sure each person is talking with it. Is a HVAC is talking with DQs, they're talking with your fertigation company, talking with your lighting company, because everything has to work together, or else there's a lot of room for error. Well, I talk a lot about with customers about selecting the ideal site. In New Jersey, I mean, property is always a challenge, it seems, and the real estate's a real big challenge.
Yep.
So sometimes as they're looking for places, somebody, it might be a deemed, cannabis zone, but there's just no power or utility to come down to it. And when we say power or utility, so there could be no electrical service could be a ways out, meaning it could be miles down on the line. And the utility says, yeah, we'll bring it in, and you go ahead and sign a lease. And all of a sudden, a year later, as you're waiting, they're like, you know what, it's just not cost effective for us to run a line to you. So there's always these challenges of power, or the power, if they do have it, the wait time is so long. So it's trying to, you're losing a lot of money if you're waiting a year and a half to get power brought to your site. So, I mean, there's options of cogen, and there's different options, and solar is an option, but it's not feasible yet. I mean, it's getting there, but it's not, you can run some ancillary, but not a full grow on it. But we're talking about having water, like also too, like running well water is always a challenge, because you need a lot of water to run a grow facility, and also too, your output of water. So we talk a lot about with people about having the right facility and the right utilities and municipality to be set up for it. We work a lot within it too, and we're talking about energy efficiency strategies, working with your municipality, and we're working with the power supplier to make sure that they have some rebates, have some incentives. Is there programs set up? Because our system we can do is that we can knock down power in high demand periods of time, like in the summertime, and there's actually some incentives that are tied to that. It's not everyone that does that, but it's actually really nice to work with the utility and tell them, hey, listen, this is what we have. And I mean, we can really help them out. But it's just taking advantage. We try to make sure that the customer is really real aware that we can take advantage of all portions of that. The site plan, the planning. We can help people out with kind of just talk them through it to make sure it makes sense. Because I hate to say it, like a lot of the real estate people, they want you in their property, but sometimes it's just not efficient for you to be there, because it's not cost effective. But anything else, Mikhail?
Yeah, one of the big things that we see when cultivators or facilities are being built out is sometimes the rush to build, rather than thinking through and really planning out and making sure everything's integrated together. So one of a huge thing for efficiencies and saving money is making sure all your systems communicate. So whether it's fertigation, whether it's lighting, whether it's whether it's environment, whether it's HVAC, all of these systems you want to design to integrate and be compatible together, because that's what's going to drive a lot of your efficiencies. It's also finding the right partners. There's a lot of, we talk about, I was at the event the other night, and we talk about not just for cultivators, but also for retail or others. There's always people who are willing to consult and help move along and really help capture and develop SOPs or other things for you. But there's a lot of cost involved, and sometimes you have to make sure that cost is valid cost, and that you're spending and investing the right resources to bring you forward. And there are opportunities to work with the right partners that can really bring value and information to you without having to suck out all of your resources early on. And the other, one of the other key things is there is a lot of, and this is where we'll go next, but there's a lot of opportunity and there's a lot of resources to actually fund efficiency measures. And that's one of the biggest things that can help not only fund and, help drive some of the selection process, but it's important to design a facility that is taking advantage and is able to take advantage of all of the resources that are available through utilities or other efficiency programs, so that you can, you can be resourceful and make your investments go further, and use the programs that are available that help fund efficiency programs that help fund some of the build outs, take advantage of them. So you want to design and really understand what's out there when you build your facility.
No doubt about that. And in fact, one of our sponsors, Sprig Energy, we got to put you guys together, because I think you guys make a great team for a lot of our cultivators out there, because energy is going to be, driving force. The cost of energy is going to be driving force in decision making for a very long time. And then once we get to the point where we have federal legalization and cannabis is going to be going across state lines, I don't know when that's going to be happening, but it'll happen eventually. So how did the companies in the Northeast compete with companies in the South and the West that can utilize sun more regularly than we do up here? The cost per kilowatt hours is less expensive in those cases. So like, how do we, like getting people ready for that moment, right? I think is going to be very critical. So I love what you guys are doing here.
Great, thanks. Next slide. I mean, I can talk a little bit on this one, Kyle. So always talking about maximizing the rebates. We've actually, with our solution and with our customer base that we have now in New Jersey, we've probably secured well over $2.5 million in incentives, which is giant money. I mean, and it's not, and it's real money, so it's not like you're getting a little bit of chump change. You're getting some huge money. So the New Jersey Clean Energy Program, who runs it, it's not run by the state. It's actually run by an independent agency they've been appointed by the utilities to actually facilitate the program. People are always worried about, like, is New Jersey going to kind of take advantage of me and they're not going to give us the money? The money's already there. It's already allocated for you. It is a pre-approval process where you have to, before you buy, you have to submit a lot of paperwork, and we process all that paperwork for the customer. We don't take any money for that. And from the customer, we process the paperwork, and what we do is we're able to get them pre-approved, and then the customer can kind of work through the process, and then they can make a purchase. Important things, there's actually energy incentives and energy awards and rebates for every aspect of anything that's a high demand power. So there's ones for HVAC, there's ones for DHU, you can actually loop in a lot of things that go with it, as well as lighting. It's the big power sucks. So you want to put all that together, and we can help facilitate all of that for them, depending on what aspect of it. So we have to work closely. This goes back to slides previous with the no silos. So we need to work with the HVAC guys. We need to know the efficiencies. We need to get some parameters and watering rates. But these rebates are for everyone. They're for new construction. They're for, custom build outs. They're for existing facilities. So
Right.
if someone's doing a conversion, there's definitely money's available for them. It's just a matter of, putting the time in and finding them. So it's super important. I noticed that actually on the slide too, where we talk about rebate financing. There's definitely some agencies that will help you. They're kind of like a bridge for it, so that they can take a portion of it and they finance the rest of it. And there's a lot of different ways. But with TSRGrow, we actually get 3 times the rebates in the state of New Jersey because of our efficiencies and our decoupled power with our solution. So where traditionally someone might get, on a 4x4 square, a single light, they might get a couple $100, $250. We're getting usually about 3x that, if not a little bit more. So we getting some really big incentives for our customers, and it stacks up really fast. Another good part of it is that the New Jersey Clean Energy allows them to, as you apply for a pre-approval, you actually get your maximum allowed is $500,000 per year. So right now, I think you're allowed $500,000 this year, $500,000 next year. So you could, if you had a project in 2 phases, you could get $1 million of free money.
Wow.
If you, and it's a pre-spend, and then they send, after you do the job, you do whatever you said. You put in the HVAC, you put in the DHU, you put in the lighting. They send out an agent. They walk through and make sure you did what you did, and then they basically issue a check pretty quick. New Jersey Clean Energy is amazing. They're actually issuing checks very fast, where some states they drag a little bit. But this has been coming through really quick. As soon as they send out, we actually have had just a couple in the last few weeks come through, and it's quicker than you would think. So it's
That's great. Now, and you're right. And it's one of the very few programs that actually works very well in New Jersey, for sure.
It really is, Scott. It's working well within New Jersey, and maybe nothing against it. Maybe it's not because it's not run by the state; it's run by the utility or an agency of the utility. But it's running really good. It's being run properly, so it's working out well. Customers are happy. At first, everybody's a little bit apprehensive to see, geez, is that real money? But it's coming to them. I mean, you talk to the other people that keep on getting these $450,000, $250,000 checks from the utility when they really need it as they're becoming operational, and all of a sudden they get this influx of cash coming back to them. It's nice.
And this is why too, it's important to plan out what you do before you do it. So, another area that's huge, and this is part of the services that TSRGrow offers is, helping with helping you design, lay out your facility, helping you look at the opportunities that are there, helping you with lighting and systems and all the things that go into it. But cogeneration is an area where there's actually huge incentives in New Jersey for cogeneration. So you might say, well, I'm gonna build my facility and I'm gonna put in pure electric. Well, cogen systems, New Jersey is very, very favorable, which is basically you're putting in place your own almost power plant that connects to the grid, that pulls off of the grid, but also pulls in gas and other things. It can tie into solar. So you can really maximize and really take around, Scott, you mentioned energy and being important, especially as you look long-term to compete. I mean, we're looking to help, you want to build a facility that's going to not only operate now, but also be competitive down the road. And by doing these energy efficiency measures, you can really drive a lot of the upfront CapEx cost out of what you're doing and really maximize your OpEx savings. So from an energy perspective, whether you're operating at night, you're taking advantage of peak demand, energy saving measures, or other things that help drive down your monthly energy consumption. There are real opportunities to take advantage. And I mean, there's the regular lighting in the building, the grow lighting, the HVAC, the DHU, the cogen, so there's tremendous amount of, and with the cogen systems, I mean, it's not only 500,000, there's millions and millions of dollars that can be used to your advantage to build out a facility that not only maximizes your CapEx expenditures, but is actually going to be a very cost-effective, operationally efficient building down the road.
So this is very valuable information, quite frankly, and I know just because the nature of this industry and the hurry up and wait and all the costs that are associated pre-revenue, very valuable information for sure. And I think that the cultivators out there are not. I know a lot of people are not aware of this, so I do appreciate you bringing this to our attention. That's not. So is that part of your mission when you go out like all across the country? Are you always? I mean, tell me more about like how do you onboard your customers and your clients and so forth.
It's always, we're always out there, no matter who you're speaking to from our company. Obviously you see Tony out there a lot, and he's and you've had many have had the opportunity to work with him, but we are a service first company, so we are out there to learn about what you're doing, to understand how you want to go about building your facility, laying it out, moving forward, because we actually want to help bring in, our A team of supporting, partners who can help you succeed in a way that's going to make you the most efficient. Everything that we do is to strive to have a referenceable customer, and that's how everybody should operate.
That's great.
Service support, that's the most important thing. If you don't succeed, we don't succeed. And so our mission is always to understand exactly how you want to do it, so we can help you do it the right way. You may not work with us or choose us, or we may be a solution for you, but we still want to help you make sure that we consult with you to help you drive your car and take your, go down a path that's going to be very successful for you.
So yeah, Scott, just something to add to that. I mean, when we're onboarding somebody, we talk to people, like even to, we get calls each day, or we're talking to, references, and people are calling us, and it's, yes, we can talk about our lighting solution all the time, and like we have great systems, and we know we can grow great product with our solution, but it's a matter of what do they need first. So we're talking to the customers, because sometimes they call us and they want to have a lighting quote, and that's great. We can do light plans and give them that, but sometimes I mean, in the scheme of it, like you said, the hurry up and wait, they're not really not ready for it. They're just looking for a budgetary number, which is fine. But a lot of times they need more things to go in before they can get to that budgetary number. So it's like,
Right.
Have you figured out, architectural engineering, have you figured out the site? Have you talked to utility? Like, so we try to ask them a lot of questions and it's just trying to float some balloons. Like, have you thought about these things? And
Right.
sometimes they just haven't, or sometimes they have, or like, oh, that's a great idea, or that's a good, do you know someone that does it? We're like, sure, why don't we, we'll work a quote up with you. But once you talk to this, A, B, and C, the irrigation guy and the HVAC guy that are doing projects in your area that could help you, why don't we all work together on this? So it takes a village,
No, it definitely does. And I think, getting your customers' expectations and help guiding them through that is a very important job. And the cost savings would definitely be realized by just helping folks, because you talk to a lot of people in the beginning and they're very excited and want to have a 150,000 square foot facility. And then the reality starts to set in. Well, can you raise $20 million? Do you need that? Is that what you really want? And then how do you guide people? So when you're talking to people and you're looking at properties, and I've talked to like our members who've gone from the 50,000 foot dream to let's start with 10, because that's a building that we found. Like, how do you sort of work with them to adjust, that sort of scalability between, hey, we thought we were going to be in this town, we thought we had this warehouse, that fell through, or the cost or terms are too much, or whatever it is. And then they're fluctuating, they're trying to figure out where they should be and what the costs are going to be, and how do you adjust with them?
I mean, I can handle that, Mikhail. So it's great to, like, when someone has great dreams and aspirations, it's great to have that 50,000 or 100,000 square foot facility thought out. But it does take it takes a lot of resources. So we even talk about it. If someone has raised capital, say I worked with people in Jersey themselves that, listen, the facility is going to cost $10 million, but we've only raised $2.5 million. We're like, let's build out $2.5 million. You have that, you have access to it now. Let's start now, because once they're cash positive, like you said, you're not cash positive. And if you can build it and you can build something small and capture some of that dollars and also show, post revenue, money's coming in. People are more apt to give you money to do your expansion. And also too, most people haven't run, they're building a $10 million facility. Most people haven't run, I'm not gonna say everyone, a $10 million business. I mean, like you're jumping into it where you had a dream and all of a sudden now I got to run a $10 million business. It's a pretty big undertaking. I mean, let's
Very
call
big
it like it is.
Absolutely.
And
In,
it's
in,
like,
that is the
in a
surprise.
market that has a lot of unknowns to it, and with a lot of, potential changing things with federal deregulation and re-regulation and, good manufacturing practices and all kinds of things. It's definitely a challenge
Yeah,
to run that business and plan for
it
the future.
is. It is, because it's a business. And at the end of the day, I think that's the most important part. I think a lot of people, sort of forget sometimes, because they're trying to fulfill this dream, and they they did a great job in college or whatever. They grew weed in their basement, or they had a nice little warehouse, a little tiny space or whatever. And then to scale that to something that's commercial size, meaning commercial standards, and having the filtration set right and the lighting set right and everything that goes with it. It's a major undertaking. So
even
having
people power, Scott, how many people it takes? Sometimes people, well, I've got me and my brother who've grown weed and their
Yeah.
friend that grows weed, which is fantastic. And I love the ambition and but
True,
okay,
true.
you're building a big facility, you're going to need more than three. I mean, it's a big undertaking. You have a lot of employees. Are you ready to hire full HR? Because you need a lot of employees now to run this facility. So it's 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 cool to see it though come together. It really is.
It is really cool. Oh, we have another slide here.
Yeah, one more.
Did we cover all this stuff?
Well, I think
We'll do more dialoguing. Let's go. I apologize,
No, I think the dialoguing is great. I mean, I think the biggest thing is, there's opportunities for rebates and incentives, and and it's very important to understand what programs are available to support your build out and growth on the CapEx side. But once you're built out, it's very important to build a facility that is going to operate efficiently for the long term and be able to meet the ever-changing regulations and unknowns that are coming down the line, whether it's when the FDA gets involved or, states open up and you can be moving product across state lines. You need to be able to compete with the next state or the sun state, or, have the things that you need to be growing. The other thing that is important is good manufacturing practices. If you ever think about moving, exporting product overseas, or even, Canada or regionally, you have to have, good manufacturing practices in place. You need to meet EU GMP standards. And to be able to achieve this, you need really to be able to make data-driven solutions. We talk about really the importance of having the ability to crop steer through lighting, which is really being able to develop master recipes around how you grow your strains. I mean, it's a business, and you have to make money on it. And yes, you have to be able to make money when it's 3,000 a pound, 4 or 5, 6,000 a pound. But
Right.
when it compresses and it comes down to 500 a pound or 1,200 a pound or somewhere in between, you have to have the systems in place to be able to know exactly what that cost is per pound that you're running and be able to drive that and consistently grow the same product over and over again and understand the cost that went into it. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is through data-driven solutions, master recipes, integrating the lighting with the environmental monitoring. And, you know, those are areas that we can really support and help on. It's actually built into our solution as well, but regardless of how you build out your facility, these are critical pieces because you need to know how much energy you used, what were the temperatures, you know, when you're tying in the metric, which strains were in which area, and how much did it cost to grow that particular strain, and then trace that all the way through, and then be able to repeat it next time so that you can continuously improve your yields and increase your profits.
I absolutely agree. And the future proofing yourself is critical part for all of us. And no matter where you are, cultivator, manufacturer, retailer like myself, you know, we all have to prepare for the future, but nothing is more critical than I think than on the cultivation side.
I think, and so many times it's a rush to get open the doors, which is important. You will need to be open, but it's also, you know, sometimes systems are put in that just don't support a long-term outlook or sustainable operation. And you really need to think about what's being put in place to support, you know, be able to handle unknown regulations and some of the things that we know are, I mean, I think people are excited about deregulation or rescheduling, and there are a lot of unknowns with that and a lot of potential a lot of potential regulations that could come with that we all need to be prepared with and all need to be talking about.
It's a minefield. You know, it really is. And that rescheduling, a lot of us are super excited about it because of we're hoping to get rid of 280E and the tax issues. But you know, what happens next? Is it going to be, you know, is it going to be more regulated now as a result because it's going to be a Schedule 3? What are the states going to do and how are they going to react? I think the initial things we'll see, right? We'll talk about the tax benefits. We'll see more banks getting involved. Certainly, there's going to be a lot more research. But what happens after that? You know, hopefully, it still maintains a state by state basis, and strong states like New Jersey will do well in that scenario.
I
Do
think
you have?
that's our last slide. We can open up to like
So I
questions.
think you know, we'd welcome you know, any questions. If anybody wants to reach out to Tony or myself, you know, we welcome anybody joining our award, you know, our fellow award-winning cultivators and be part of our team. So
That's exciting, by the way. You know, that really is exciting to see what you guys are doing and seeing how you're doing stuff and looking at your success. Certainly, we appreciate you being here in New Jersey. Got a question here from Anonymous. The soon-to-be released NJCE new construction program will offer higher incentive rates for custom energy modeling. Does TSRGrow offer energy modeling services?
yes, we do.
Yes.
And we can help with all of the modeling. And you know, one of the things that really is yes, the short answer is yes, we can. And there are a lot of advantages with our system and solution. Actually, on the custom side, that we save about 20% more energy over anything else in the market.
Very cool. Very cool. From a technology perspective, so you guys have been in business for a while. Where's the evolution going? Where are technology providers? What are they doing? Is it on the lighting side, filtration side, all the above?
I think the technology is all moving towards really, you know, data-driven intelligence around trying to bring all of the systems together. People talk about, you know, fertigation. They talk about, you know, crop steering through fertigation. They talk about environmental control. They talk about lights. They talk about all these things. Unfortunately, everything is talked about in pieces and very siloed. And the most important thing is to continuously work to really bring all the systems together and bring things together in a way that they can be integrated and supportive in a way that all of them are working together ultimately you're going to get to master recipes, intelligence, where if you know your microclimates in your room, the lights will dim down because you've got a hotspot on one side, or if the fertigation is doing something or the HVAC kicks on and there's low CO2, maybe things dim down or things increase, and starting to really automate and optimize the way that things are grown so that you can consistently grow your recipes and have it all tied together. So I think the technology is moving towards integration of everything.
Very smart. Makes
Scott,
sense.
what we're seeing too is a lot. I mean, in Europe right now, we have clients in Europe, and it's here like with the like Mikhail touched on the GMP, EU GMP, CGMP. It's about building the right facility, and that's the only way that, like, when you talk to like a buyer in Germany that's buying product from a grower in Canada and they're shipping it, over ocean, and they're like, oh yeah, it's a GMP facility. It's all about being GMP. So the future, like we're there, like with our technology, we're all about GMP and making sure that there's good manufacturing practices and good things going on. But it's already happening in Europe where they're registering strains. Stuff has to go through like a year-long procedure to get your strains registered, and then they're only growing. They're basically subbing out to like a grower to say, I want you to grow this room of my strain that's registered, and it has to be a GMP facility. So there's like they're sending out agents, like almost like, I'll call it like a USDA, which is pretty cool.
Very cool. Very cool. And that is a really interesting, that you guys have that opportunity to see things happening, not just here in the United States, but around the world, because this will really be it's going to be a global industry, and the competition is going to be fierce. Imports from Colombia, from Africa, from Europe, it's gonna be game changer. So I think, people have to get ready for that, got to be prepared for that. We're gonna see, as things shift and the price points shift and all those other things start to happen, we're going to see things happening more along the wine industry, if you will, the liquor industry, where you will have very high end products. A lot of focus will be on marketing and buying local, and so we're starting to see those things happen right now, but definitely in the future for sure. And I see, Mikhail, you're responding to that answer, the decoupled lighting system.
Yeah, so in terms of time, I can speak about it, but basically we've been operating, in our solutions for over 8 years, and it's really been bringing, decoupled power, advanced lighting, and the software applications to really operate that. And we can, it's been the approach was to think about commercial cultivation and really where do things need to be. You need to be able to operate efficiently, know exactly what's happening, and get rid of any dirty maintenance in a grow room and centralize everything. And we power facilities where fixtures are over 500 feet away. I mean, large scale greenhouses, to small scale micro cultivations. So it's extremely adaptable and flexible to the application, and really is the way to go, in our opinion, for to really have the data driven backbone to operate long term.
Awesome. Awesome.
There's another question that came up, Mikhail, about the distance, maximum distance to fixture from driver.
Yeah, we operate, we can run things over, we power facilities that are over 500 feet away.
One last question, and we have to wrap it up, and it's a really important question. Can you estimate incentives in advance to help us with our budget planning?
Yes.
Yes.
That can be done. That's one of the things, is we help with all of the incentives and analyzing all the incentives available. We know the different systems, whether it's HVAC, DHU, we can help estimate all of the different, what it is that you could get back, and help you. Our capabilities really, and our goal is to help you maximize, whether it's a $500,000 or, 3 million on a cogen system. Our goal is to help you maximize the incentives and savings that you can achieve. And we can do that.
Awesome. That's a critical part, right? I mean, we're all fundraising out there right now. And if we could show our investors through our investor deck, hey, we've already gone through this process, we've already made these decisions, and we've already thought this one through, which is how we're going to get some money back. And I think that's a very smart way to do this. So, gentlemen, this was a great discussion. I really love what you guys are doing. I know it's going to be very valuable to your clients. So Really happy you guys were here. And folks who have more questions, you have their contact information. If you don't, you're missing it or whatever, you can go to the website. You can reach out to Jenna. It's all good. We'll make sure you guys get connected with TSRGrow. I want to thank our sponsors again. I want to thank HBK CPAs, Sachs LLP, Dutchy, Financial Resources Federal Credit Union, Township Green, and Sprague Energy, our preferred energy provider. And let's not forget, March 20th at Johnny Mac's. I love going to Johnny Mac's. It's an amazing place. We just had an event the other night. Mikhail was there. We had about 100 people there. Great event. We look to replicate that over at Johnny Mac's. And again, March 20th. Hope to see you guys there. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you,
Mikhail and
Jenna.
Tony.
Thank you, everyone.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you so much. Have a
All
great
right, guys,
day.
have a great day.
All right, bye-bye.